I'm Paul Corelli, Chief Pilot and Director of Special Missions for Daer Aerospace Kodiak Division.
And I'm Earl Boyder, and I support law enforcement. Today we're here to tell you about the Kodiak, why we believe, in our humble opinion, that it's absolutely the best special missions platform you can get.
So why is the Kodiak 100 the best vehicle for your special missions payload? Well, originally this aircraft was a special mission aircraft born in the fields of Africa and Papua New Guinea. So it was intentionally designed to be rugged and reliable. It's the safest aircraft in its class, and starting from the front, this aircraft boasts a 4-bladed propeller, 19 inches of clearance, so if you're going off airport, off to an unimproved surface, this propeller will give you plenty of clearance should you be landing in gravel or even grass. It has a 750 shaft horsepower motor, Pratt & Whitney PT6 Alpha-34, very common engine, very powerful. In this package, you can get off in less than 1,000 feet at max gross weight. The landing gear is also built very ruggedly. The main landing gear has two 3-inch tubes, which support this aircraft up to 7,255 pounds max gross weight. You can take up to a 9-inch stump on landing on any unimproved surface. That's what it's been tested to.
Paul, you're making some great points. Let's jump back to the engine for a second. It's the most popular PT6 that there is. It's reliable, it's dependable, but the beauty of it is it's serviceable almost anywhere, and that was part of the features that I think they designed into this aircraft when they were doing it. They wanted it to be a serviceable aircraft that could be, dispatch reliability had to be impressive, and also it had to be easy to work on. So one of the things that we can thank for here is that with this engine, you can actually hurry to a spot to get over it and be on site. 174 knot cruise, pull back power once you're there, and you can loiter it for up to how long will you do that?
7.1 hours. If you do a 150-mile transit there and back, you can still loiter over top of any area for 7.1 hours. And that's about, a little less than 40 gallons per hour in this aircraft. As you can see, the stacks on this aircraft, they're slightly downturned on this aircraft. The visibility, if you're observing from the inside, is absolutely phenomenal. There is minimal mirage on this aircraft, so anybody observing with the naked eye out onto the ground can see unobstructed to the ground. It's a fantastic design. What's really important, as Earl mentioned, is the maintainability of this aircraft. It was built so simply that a small maintenance footprint is required. Minimal tools to maintain this aircraft in the field. So if you're forward deployed somewhere remote, you can still operate this aircraft and maintain it with a very small footprint of people.
And the operational flexibility is incredible. I mean, you've got seats that you can take in and out in just a few moments. You can work from the front to the back to make sure your configuration is proper. We've got plenty of room for consoles, enormous headroom, and something that's really passed over a lot of times and not talked about. This is one of the most comfortable airplanes I've ever flown in. The seats are like recliners, and for a mission that lasts 6 or 7 hours, that's critical.
So let's talk about the safety feature of this aircraft. Built into the safety of this aircraft is really the wing design. If you see this wing design, it's a discontinuous leading edge, which gives it tremendous handling capabilities anywhere from 25,000 feet down to 1,000 feet. The outboard of the wing is a lower angle of attack, which gives a great stability to the aircraft at low speed configurations. It still drives air over the ailerons, so you can maneuver this aircraft at very slow speeds. So if you need to loiter over the top of a subject, you can do that at about 75 to 85 knots, no problem. So this aircraft can handle loitering at most any speed. You can slow it down, or you can sprint to another area of responsibility that you need to. So it's a great aircraft to handle in the slow environment, or if you need to get somewhere quickly to prosecute another subject, then you can get over the top of that very quickly.
Paul, talking about the discontinuous wing, tell us about the stall characteristics of the airplane. Say you accidentally get too slow, what are you facing in terms of recovery? What happens?
It is absolutely an honest aircraft. This thing will let you know when it's getting ready not to fly, and it's very difficult to stall this aircraft. You can have the yoke completely back in your lap, and this aircraft is only going to be visible stall by a vertical speed of about 600 feet to about 800 feet per minute.
No wicked brakes that are going to scare you.
There is no roll off on this aircraft. It is very, very tough to tell when you're actually in a stall, so it's a very honest aircraft. That's what's so great about it. It'll tell you when it's getting ready not to fly. What's exciting about the Kodiak 100 now is we have a retractable camera system that is installable in the pod. Now this is a standard cargo pod. It's not modified except for the hole in the bottom of the pod, but it's your standard cargo pod that you get on a Kodiak 100. This retractable camera system was designed by Fargo Jet Center, and they've done a tremendous job in installing anywhere from a 9-inch up to a 15-inch class sensor.
One thing that's key about an installation like this is it needs to be covert. If you're on a ramp and operating in a law enforcement environment, a lot of times you don't want people to know who you are or what you're doing. And this system is completely embedded in such a manner that you can't tell one time for the other whether or not it's an operational mission airplane or whether it's simply a luggage compartment.
Government agencies also like the covert hiding in plain sight, if you will, of this design. This could be a passenger aircraft in a foreign country, whereas helicopters may draw attention. This here looks like a standard passenger aircraft, and so any law enforcement agency overseas or CONUS can use this aircraft.
Part of the beauty of this configuration, even though the camera is up front, there's a lot of room in the back. And with the different missions that you're going to have, you may have antennas, you may have cabling, you may have a lot of other auxiliary things that can be hidden in this. And with the third one back here, you can throw in some luggage if that's even necessary.
And with the high wing design of this, it allows your sensors actually a better grazing angle. If you had a low wing, you may be masking some of your sensors, but with the high wing design, not only can you visually acquire your target, but you can also allow your sensors to sweep without any impedance from the wing.
And can you mount a sensor on the strut as well?
You can. So there is a strut design already in place, and you can mount a gimbal onto this as well. Obviously, it's going to allow you one side or the other, but either strut, you can put an auxiliary sensor on it. Also, in works right now, we also have hard points being designed for the wing, and our goal is for about a 500-pound payload per hard point on each wing. As I mentioned earlier, the 29-inch tires allows this aircraft to be off-airport quite well. The off-airport capability of this aircraft, I believe, is unmatched in the industry. As I mentioned, 2 3-inch tubes go through this fuselage and give this thing a tremendous ability to land in rough terrain. Along with the 19-inch clearance on the prop, and with our camera extended, you still have about 9 inches of clearance left with the camera fully extended should it fail to retract at some time. So this aircraft gives you a tremendous capability off airport in any austere environment with its capabilities.
So with the wing as you described, the low stall characteristics, the landing gear, the prop, how quick can you get into a field and get it stopped?
You can take off in less than 1,000 feet at max gross weight, and you can get into a field and stop in about 600 feet max gross weight with this aircraft. Up to this point, we've talked about the surveillance aspect of this special missions aircraft, but it is really a multi-mission aircraft. As you can see, this cargo door was designed for a pallet size, which can be used to unload passengers, or you can unload cargo. What's important with this is the modularity of it. These seats come out extremely quick. And if you're an agency that has to have a multitude of missions, this aircraft is perfect for that. You can take these seats out, like I said, in minutes. You can install your roll-on, roll-off cargo quickly, which lends itself to being an absolutely superior special missions platform.
And the roomy cabin inside, even with a multi-function platform in place, such as 2 consoles or an additional workstation, you've still got room for 2 or 3 or 4 extra seats in the back. So you truly can use it as a multi-operational mission aircraft with no sweat whatsoever.
Another added safety feature of the Kodiak 100 is its all-weather capability. It has TKS system, which carries 16 gallons of TKS fluid, which can last up to 2.5 hours. And it also has the G1000 suite in it, which can get you in any instrument condition at any approach off or on airport.
Paul, we know it's a pilot's airplane. Could you kind of explain the ergonomics inside and how it really helps to the advantage of the operator?
You bet. So special missions operators will find that this aircraft can be operated with minimal crew. The visibility out of the airplane is phenomenal. The NXI suite is instantaneous. It's got dual AHRS, dual GPS, dual ADC, and if you need to, you can operate it with 1 pilot and 1 TFO.
And the visibility is pretty good, huh?
As you can see, visibility from the starboard side all the way back 140 degrees aft allows you to enable to acquire your targets very easily.
At Dire Kodiak, we take your mission seriously, and for that reason we take our mission seriously, and our mission is simple: supporting you, whether it's day or night, holidays, weekends, it doesn't matter. You call us and we're there. Another excellent point that I need to point out about the Kodiak and the K100 is that it's very unlikely you'll outgrow it. One problem that a lot of operators have is they put themselves in an aircraft, and before you know it, because of mission demands, they've outgrown the aircraft due to weight and balance, payload capabilities, and so forth. It's not likely to happen in the Kodiak. You've got a lot of expansion capability that you can use. And you got a company that's going to stand behind you, that's going to be ready for your call, it's going to be looking to serve you, and it's going to also thank you for your service to us. So that's kind of a wrap-up of the Kodiak and what we think its capabilities are. We hope you're intrigued enough to contact us and let us show the airplane to you. It's unusual, but the only way to really get the full meaning of a Kodiak is to take a demonstration flight in it. How many operators do we have now in special missions?
So we currently have 24 Kodiaks in the field, operating anywhere from fire management, air ambulance, surveillance, and law enforcement.
So whether you fit that bill or not, let us know. We're willing to work with you. We want to work with you. We're happy to show you the aircraft. This is one of the best demonstration pilots I've ever flown with. And all it takes is a telephone call to get in touch. And if not, we're more than likely going to be reaching out to you.
And at the end of the day, the most important thing is the safety of your people in accomplishing the mission. After 26 years of tactical aircraft in the Navy, I can tell you this aircraft fits the bill perfectly. So look at the Kodiak 100.